Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about a change in real estate. It's one of the best ways to actually make money out of the real estate market without just relying on the macro market, the city growth. Obviously, when we're looking at a changing market, we're talking about gentrification, an area that's changing, and that can be on a number of fronts. What we look for is we don't look for, say, the beautiful suburb, the beautiful Swan that's already gone through all the changes and you pay the beautiful price. We also don't look for the cheap suburb that's cheap for cheap's sake, and we don't understand how that is going to change and become more expensive. We like to go for the area that is already going through change. It has reasons to change. And to do that, what we do is we look at the demographic. We understand who is living there, what kind of education they've had over the past 5 years and moving forward, and how that is changing. So with higher educated people, usually it's a flow-on effect to higher wealth and higher wages. With people earning more money, they are more inclined to buy more expensive properties, renovate their properties, and that whole region sort of benefits. When they obviously spend more money, the region benefits. Obviously, we have more wealth moving into that area as money breeds money. After we have the education and the wealth, we also have the amenity. We want to understand what is going to attract a tenant and what's going to attract an owner to buy into that area or rent in that suburb, and that comes down to schools, hospitals, jobs, transportation, all these things that attract people to a certain area. Now that might be stuff that's already there, it might be stuff that is actually getting built again, and that's what we look for when we talk about government's plans, obviously their infrastructure and what they're spending money on. If we know what is forecast, new jobs, new hospitals, new train line that's 5-10 years away, then we can take advantage of that government spending and we can buy an asset that has its own reasons to grow in that suburb and not just relying on that sort of macro city growth. Then we look at sort of the population. Obviously, most of our major cities are going to be doubling in population over the next sort of 30 years. So that's really where we try a little look at, because with the jobs, the infrastructure, the population is all going into that area. And then we understand the supply to market, and we can do that by understanding programs like RP Data or Cordell's, which gives us what has actually been put through to council, how many apartments, townhouses and houses have been approved for a certain region, and understanding the demand for something like that, and how much has actually been absorbed over the past 5 years and what the demand is, so we can see if that's going to be an undersupplied market, an oversupplied market, plus also understand the rents. Are we in an undersupplied market when it comes to rentals as well? With undersupplied to when it comes to supply for sales or for rents, that is something we want as an investor to buy into that area, because then we've got upwards pressure as more and more people vie for what is remaining for your property for rent, which increases the rent and reduces the vacancy period, and also vying for your property that you might want to sell later on down the track. So a few things we want to look at when we are looking at property to make sure that we get the most out of any investment and not just relying on the macro growth. So hope this helped. Talk soon, guys.